Good morning, students. In previous couple of sessions, we have discussed about the distributors. In that, we have seen about the DC distributions. Okay. As a quick summarize, I will summarize what are the things we have seen in our DC distribution system. Okay. So, as a distribution system, we can classify the distribution system based on the supply. It may be of an either DC distribution system or it may be of your AC distribution system. When it comes with respect to the DC distribution system, that DC distribution system, how you are going to distribute the supply to the consumers. So based on that, nothing but we can able to classify the distribution system, right? We can classify the distribution system as often two categories, correct? We can classify the DC distribution system on two categories. So one is going to be of your DC distributor fed at one end. It means limit based on the load. Either it may be of your concentrated load or it may be of a uniform load. We can categorize the DC distribution system as often based on the distributor based on the concentrated load or based on your uniformly load. Okay. In both the cases, the classification is going to be often said. It means the DC distributor fed at one end. It means feeding point will be often one end, or it may be feed at both the ends. When it's going to be often feed at both the ends, the distributor is going to be of nothing but for uniformly loaded distributor. If it's feed at both the ends, the voltage may be of an equal voltages or unequal voltages. Equal voltages or unequal voltages. Okay. So distributor here is limit the DC distribution system. We can able to classify based on your concentrated load or maybe of a uniform load. Whatever it may be, the distributor will be in the form limit. It will be distributor will be fed with one end, or distributor is going to be often fed with both the ends. If it is going to be often fed with both the ends, the voltages, feeding voltages may be of an equal voltages or it may be of a unequal voltages. And next third category is going to be of nothing but distributor fed at midpoint. It means the distributor is going to be often feed at midpoint. So that is going to be of your midpoint. And fourth is going to be of your ring distributors. Fourth is going to be of your ring distributors. It means the distributor will be arranged in the form of closed loop, right? It may be fed at one or maybe of your more point in your ring distributor. Okay, so it means any fault occur in your ring distribution means limit at any point of any point in the ring distributor means then the remaining loop can able to serve the purpose. Okay, and it can able to return to its original point. So that is a purpose. Here there is a advantage in case of your ring distribution in compared to of your other type of distributors. Okay, so when speaking about the point of DC distribution, so either we need to generate the DC power or we have to convert the AC power into often DC power. So that is one of the major disadvantage in case of your DC distribution system. It means nothing but at any point the stepping up or stepping down the voltage is not possible it's very difficult. It's not possible. We can't able to say not possible. It's very difficult to step up or step down immediately in your DC distribution system. Okay, so that's why here we are going to move on. The next part is going to appear AC distribution system. AC distribution system. So today's session we are going to see about the AC distribution system. Okay, so before moving to of the AC distribution system, just I want to recap by asking some of the objective questions in the DC distribution system. Okay, I will post the question in the chat box and try to answer that one. In a single fed distributor, if fault occurs on any section, the supply to all the consumer has to be, what will have to happen? What will happen? if fault occur on the single fed-end, it means nothing but distributor is fed at one end. If the distributor is going to have fed at one end, if any fault occur on the distributor, what will happen to the distributor? What will happen to the distributor? Whether it can able to supply the power to the consumer, or it will be shut off, disconnected. No supply will come. That's correct. So it means shut off. So it means nothing but no supply will come, or it may be of nothing but disconnected. So the distributor will be disconnected. So it means shut off. Okay, correct. Sedu and Rupan is correct. Next, yeah, ring main distributor fed at one end is equivalent to dash type of distributor. Yeah, ring main distributor fed at one end is equivalent to the dash feeder at both the ends with equal voltages. What is this? Distributor fed at both the ends. And that what you can able to call in other form, how we can able to call that one? Congress. Yeah, it's a straight distributor. It's a straight distributor. That's correct. Nothing but, so if you are anything but I am hanging up on ring. Ring is going to be of a closed loop. Ring is going to be of your closed loop. The closed loop is I can able to feed at any point. I can able to feed at one point. Now, just now only I told you anything but if it's going to be of a ring distributor means the ring distributor I can able to feed at both but at any point. Okay, it may be one feeding point or maybe upon multiple feeding point. When it's going to hang up on more than one point of view, if I stretches, it means if I stretches with the feeding point, it will look like a state distributor. It will be look like upon state distributor. Yeah, that's correct. Answer is correct. Okay. The point of minimum potential of an uniformly distributed distributor fed at both the ends with equal voltage will occur at where the minimum potential will be appearing. If the distributor is going to have fed at both the ends, if the distributor is going to have fed at both the ends, that to equal voltages, where the minimum point of potential is going to happen occurs. Where the minimum point of potential is going to happen occurs. I think we have solved one problem, right? The second problem which we have solved is the number based on this question only. At midpoint or middle, it means it's center. So it means it's going to have nothing but it will be on the midpoint. It will be on your midpoint. Okay. So what is the purpose of our DC interconnector? What is the purpose of our DC interconnector? Yeah, DC interconnector is used to dash the voltage drop in the various section of the distributor. So what is the purpose of the interconnector, DC interconnector? We have seen about nothing but different type of nothing but a radial, ring, and interconnected type of distribution system we have seen. Okay. What is the purpose of the DC interconnector? No, the main purpose of because even when it comes with respect of an interconnector will have often multiple sources will be there, right? Interconnected system. The ring system will call us of interconnected system. In the interconnected system, we are going to be called as of here interconnected system, we are going to have multiple source. What is the need for that multiple source? So to reduce the voltages, to reduce the voltage drop in the various section, we are going for often interconnector. We are going for often interconnector. So it means here the optimal word is going to reduce the voltage drop in the various section of our distributor. In the various section of our distributor. In a balanced three-wire DC system, the potential of the neutral in a balanced three-wire DC system, the potential of the neutral is dash between that of outers. I think we have seen about the generation, how to generate two-wire system or three-wire system. We have seen the generation of a DC power. In our before going for the classification of distributor, we have seen that how to generate the DC power, right? By using a two-wire system or three-wire system, we have seen. So in the balanced three-wire DC system, the potential of the neutral is dash between that of the outer. Searching. It's a midway because three-wire is limit. We can have often neutral will be of limit will be actors often midway. It means the midway means if the midway and the positive we can take as often half of the limit B. Okay, between positive and negative we can take as often 2V. So it means in a balanced three-wire DC system, the potential of the neutral is midway between that of the outer. It means here the keyword here is going to appear midway. Here the keyword is going to appear midway. So this type of question, this type of objective questions will be there for your CA questions. CA exams will be upon multiple choice questions. Okay. So if you have the knowledge on the theoretical concept, then only you can able to answer your MCQ question. So MCQ will be conducted, CA3 will be conducted in the AMCAT platform, not on the Google Classroom. Okay. Clear? So it will be conducted in the AMCAT. So it's the online separate tool for conducting of your CA exam will be based on the MCQ questions. So MCQ question only it will be like this. If you have gone through the textbooks clearly, then only you can be able to answer the questions. So like what you are doing here, searching in the Google and feeding the answer, it won't be help for your CA exams. If you move to the next tab, automatically your browser will be closed. Your exam will end. You cannot able to relog. You cannot able to relog it. Only one attempt will be given. Okay, so that I have posted the textbooks in the Google Classroom. 2 textbooks are available. So go through the end of the textbooks. You can go through that one. So you'll have the fill in the blank subjective questions will be there. Read it carefully, right? So that if you go through it, you can able to answer your multiple choice questions. So there will be analytical questions also will be there in your CA exam. That too for your transmission and distribution, you will have the analytical questions will be there. It means so we have solved some of the problems. The same type of problems may be appear in your question also. It means you have to solve it and then you have to pick which answer is going to be the correct answer. So when you are solving your answer as a problem, see to that here keep remembering your phase voltage and the line voltage. If you are not able to get the difference between the phase voltage and the line voltage, you may land up in the different answer. Right? They may again the question is maybe asked based upon line voltages, but you have calculated the phase voltages. So if you find there will answers will be there. But if you choose the phase voltage, your answer will be wrong. So read the question very carefully, right? Whether they ask you about the line voltage or phase voltages. Normally, in all the analysis, we used to convert it into often per phase analysis. The data may be given in the line value, but for our calculation purpose, we'll convert that line value into of a face value. Again, in the end, you have to convert that face value to of the line value, then you have to choose the best answer. Okay, correct answer or best answer. So see to that, keep remember the thing, but the calculation we used to do of on line voltage and about phase voltages, and the end again we used to convert it into of the line voltages. Keep remember all those things while solving the problems. Any doubt? Is that doubt, Gaba? So go through the objective questions, then only you can. So time for analytical paper, time will be 1 hour 30 minutes. It means 90 minutes will be there. For theoretical question paper, but for MCQ question, 50 questions, 60 minutes. The same 50 questions for solving the problem, you will have often 1 hour 30 minutes. It means totally 90 minutes will be available for analytical purpose in your exam. Time will be sufficient because the question will be framed to solve like that only. Suppose assume that I think in the last session we have solved the problem. We have taken the fed at both the ends. We have taken the problem of nothing but one of the problem we have taken something but the distributor is going to often fed at both the ends. When the distributor is going to often fed at both the ends, we have calculated the section current. We have calculated the section current. Then we have calculated what will be the drop in the but what is the voltage at each and every load point. Okay, it means if you are able to solve one problem, means you can able to answer 2 or 3 questions from your MCQ. So it will be like that. அதாவது பார்த்தீங்கன்னா ஒரு ப்ராப்ளம் கொடுத்துருமா ஒரு ப்ராப்ளத்தை வச்சு நீங்கள் second question that first question that question and the following 2 second question and third question can able to answer from that problem itself. It means the time will be often sufficient. Ashwin, how you got it? The problem which is going to be often given, with the continuation of the problem, you are going to have to answer the next sequence of question also. So the question will be like that. Okay, so it means if you take nothing but 5 minutes to solve that problem, means or nothing but 7 minutes to solve that problem, means you can able to answer within 7 minutes. You can able to answer the 3 questions for the analytical problem, one analytical problem. So it will be like that. Okay, so that's why for analytical paper you will have of nothing but like this type of objective questions also will be there, and the problem also will be there. That problem you have to solve it out and you have to choose the best answer. That's why I'm telling, when you're solving the problem, take but exact timing to solve it out. So keep your calculator with you before starting your exam. So you cannot able to move away from your system. If you move, means the system will automatically will be nothing but deduct nothing but you are doing of malpractice, it will be recorded automatically. So that's why before starting your exam, right, you keep your calculator, nothing but paper, right, everything for working out. So work out, then enter the answer. Okay, so we'll have one practice test, but before that one, before the CA, but I will try to post it in the Google Classroom. You can have a practice it out, so it will be easy for you also. Shall we move on to the next concept? So now today's class we are going to see about the AC distributors. Okay, so what is the meaning? But AC, what is the need for AC distributions? What is the need for AC distributions? As I told you, the principal disadvantage of the DC system is nothing but the voltage level cannot be changed immediately, right? Unless otherwise, if we have the DC system is going to be upon rotating machineries, then only we can able to change the voltage immediately. So that too, that type of rotating machineries will be often too expensive. So that's why after the development of the transformer, we gone with the concept of an AC system, and we use the same AC system for the AC system for the distribution also. So that distribution here is going to of normally, but either it will be of a 3-phase 3-wire system, or it may be of a 3-phase 4-wire system. Okay, it means our primary distribution circuit will be often, but the distribution system will be often classified as often primary distribution and secondary distribution. Our primary distribution will be having often three-phase, three-way system, and that normal operating voltage will be often 3.3 kilovolt or maybe of a 6.6 kilovolt or 11 kilovolt, right? So normally that will be of the under the utilization level. What type of utilization you are going to use it? So our AC distribution, that to primary distribution, we have the voltage from lower voltage of 3.3 to often 6.6 or 11 point. Okay. So it means that will be the deliver the power to of our secondary distribution system. That will be power deliver the power to of our secondary distribution system through the secondary distribution transformer. Where in the secondary distribution, so our voltage will be often stepped down from the 11 kilovolt to of a 400 volt or maybe often 230 volt, depends upon the consumer. It means either a single phase or three phase system. So that's why here in the secondary distribution system, we used to have often three-phase, four-way system. Three-phase, four-way system. So you know what are how the distribution is going to be often calculation is going to be often differ from our DC distribution. The same calculation method we cannot able to use for our AC distribution. Why? Because in the DC distribution, the voltage drop will be due to only the resistance. But here, the drop is going to often combine the effect of the resistance, inductance, and the capacitance. Okay, we cannot able to neglect the reactance. It means inductive reactance. Reactance is going to be inductive or capacitive reactance. Okay, it means in the AC distribution, there we have DC distribution, we have taken only the resistance. Okay, but here we have to take off in the concept of an impedance. Okay, so in DC distribution, we have used the addition and subtraction. It means the current and arithmetical addition and subtraction. But here it's going to appear vector sum. Here it's going to appear vector sum because the power factor is going to often has to be taken into the account. So that's why in AC distribution AC calculation we have to calculate based on the vector sum, not the arithmetical calculation. Okay. So it may be the load which is going to be often tapped off from the distributor. We have often different power factor. Okay, it means we can even here in the method of solving of the AC distribution system will be often power factor based on the power factor. That the power factor will be either referred to of the receiving end or it may be of a power factor which is going to be often referred to the respective load voltages. So first we'll move on to the concept of AC distribution that will refer to of the respective power factor voltage. AC distributors. Okay, when I'm speaking about the AC distributor, so the AC distributor, if I am feeding the voltages, so it depends upon the load, the distributor is going to distributor calculation is going to often differ because the method of solving the DC distribution problem is going to be often differ. One is going to limit. Why? Because we cannot able to use the arithmetical or addition or subtraction. Means we are using the concept of current entering is going to have the algebraic sum. Right there we are in the DC distribution we are using the entering based on the current we are doing of addition or maybe a subtraction. It means current entering and leaving based on that one. It means we are using the Kirchhoff's current law, right? So it means at any node or junction, the algebraic sum of the current is equal to often 0. So we are using it and we are using the direct addition arithmetical calculation. But here in the AC distribution, we cannot able to do it like that. Why? Because the load which is going to be often tapped from the distributor, may be often differ. So how is going to be often differ means it means differ based on the power factor. It will be the power factor of the load may be often gets varies. The load current may be often it's going to often gets varies. So for different section of the distributor, we have to do this vector sum of the current, not the arithmetic sum. We have to do the vector sum of the current, not the arithmetic sum. Okay, so maybe of nothing but the power factor. So that power factor, when I am referring the power factor, I can refer the power factor at the receiving end. I can refer the power factor at receiving end Based on that receiving end power factor, I can able to calculate, or I can calculate power factor of the individual distributors. Power factor of the individual distributors. Okay, so first we will take off anything, but if I am referring with respect of power factor of the receiving end, how to calculate the how to solve the AC distribution problem. How to solve the AC distribution problem. Suppose, so this is going to have the feeding point A, right, for a length of AB. I'm taking upon for a distributor length of AB, right? I'm taking upon two loads. I'm taking upon two loads. Which is nothing but connected at nothing but 2 points of C and as well as of your D. C as well as of the D. Okay, or you can consider such that nothing but if the nothing but for the second but the distributor is going to be often nothing but AC distributor, where the distributor is going to be having a length of AB, okay, length of AB, and the loads are tapped at C as well as often B, C as well as of your B, okay. Then it's going to be often tap. I have to refer the power factor with respect to the receiving end, with respect of your receiving end. It means this but the load is going to affect me, draws a current of I1 current, and this is going to often draws a current of I2 current. That will be drawing the current of I2 current. So when but if I denote like this, so I cannot able to solve this AC distribution problem. So it means I have to refer the power factor. The power factor. That how I am going to refer the power factor is going to be depends upon the load. And means if I take the so for this load, the power factor is going to be upon cos phi 1. For this load, the power factor is going to be upon cos phi 2. So if I want to solve this type of problem, I have to consider both the resistance and the reactance, because I cannot able to neglect the effect of reactance. I have to consider the effect of reactance also. It means I have to represent this section. Okay, impedance in terms of R plus JX. And similarly here I have to represent with R plus JX. But how we are going to differentiate? So this is going to be of your section 1 and this is going to be of your section 2. It means R1, X1. And this is going to be of your R2 and X2. When you take care of the distributor, whole distributor, AB is going to be of your distributor. It means Z of AB will be equal to often R plus JX. It means this is equal to nothing but R1 plus JX11 in plus it is going to be often R2 plus JFX2. It means that both the impedance only is going to have the total impedance of the entire distributor. So here, if I want to solve this type of distribution problem, AC distribution problem, I have to draw the phasor diagram. If I able to draw the phasor diagram only, then I can able to do the vector sum. As I told in the initial itself, but in the AC distribution, the power factor of the various load current have to be considered. Since the currents are different at the section of the distributor, it will be of your vector sum, not vector sum of our load current, not the arithmetic sum. It means I have to note down what will be the impedance of my section AB and what about the impedance of my section CB. Okay, then I can able to write what about my current. Then what about my current? It means I have to current what will be of the current in C and what is the current in my B. So for that I have to consider the power factor. If I want to consider the power factor, means I have to draw the phasor diagram. Okay, so we know how to draw the phasor diagram. So here I have taken only the concentrator load. For concentrator load, how to solve the AC distribution problem with the help of power factor at the receiving end. Okay, it means power factor with respect to the receiving end. I am taking the power factor with respect to the receiving end. If I know so here I taken with respect of your load point. So but here I taken the reference is going to be of my C. Reference is going to be of nothing but VC. So the voltage is going to be of my V1. So based on that, I have wrote with respect of, I have drawn the diagram. Okay, this I can change it out with respect of nothing but the notation may be of nothing but you can use of different notation. So that's not a problem. You can use of A, B, C, or A, C, B, you can use it out, or I1 and I2 I have used with respect of the current. Okay. So banana. So here the drop is going to be often less compared to of the load current, but assuming a different power factor. Assuming the different power factor, when having often different power factor, based on the power factor, the drop in the section current also is going to be often varies. The drop in the voltage is going to be often varies. If it's going to be often higher the power factor, the drop here is going to be often less. Okay. So otherwise, the drop will be often more in case of this section also. If the power factor is going to be often lagging power factor. So based on the power factor, remember the voltage drop is going to be often get changes in your section. Apart from that, due to the section impedance, there will be often drop. Due to the section impedance, the drop is, it means based on the power factor, the drawing current may be often higher or may be of a lesser. Okay. So but here I have but for the distributor which you are going to consider, right? You have to assume that which is going to be often lag and but which one is going to be often lag. So based on that only we can able to draw our phasor diagram. As we seen nothing but in the performance of a transmission line, we have seen how to draw the phasor diagram. We have seen how to draw the phasor diagram. The same thing here also we are going to apply it out to draw the phasor diagram. It means you have to take the reference quantity. So normally we used to take off nothing but receiving end quantity is going to be often taken of the reference quantity. With refer to that, we are going to draw the remaining parameter. That too we will take off the voltages. That too we used to take off your voltages. Okay. So now then just you can recap how we did the we have reduced the equation from the phasor diagram. The same concept only we are going to apply it here also. So from there only we are going to we are going to write what will be of our equation. Okay. So here nothing but I am going to consider of the distributor, AC distributor, where the AC distributor section is going to be often AB and that is having often concentrated load. So that concentration load is going to be of nothing but I1 and I2 are the concentrated load. I1 and I2 are of my concentrated load. Okay, which is going to be often tapped at the point of C as well as of the B. Which is going to be often tapped at the point of C and as well as of your B. I'm going to take the receiving end. Right? I'm going to take my receiving end. So that's the receiving end means is nothing but I have to take with respect of my VB. If I take with respect of the VB as of one reference, then I can draw the vector diagram. Right? For that, I'm going to assume that lagging power factor. I'm going to assume the lagging power factor. How I am going to assume the lagging power factor means the lagging power factor is going to assume the C point as well as of my D point. The C point as well as of the B point, where the load is going to be upon tapped, which having upon lagging power factor, and which having upon cos phi 1 and cos phi 2. With respect to which one? With respect to the voltage of VB. With respect to the voltage of VB. Okay. So based on that, I can write what will be the impedance. First, I am writing off what is the impedance. What is the impedance of section? Which section? Which section you are going to write it out? AC. So impedance of my section AC. So what is the impedance of my section AC? Nothing but I can write Z of C vector will be equal to often R1 plus J of X1. R1 plus J of X1. And similarly, I can write what about the impedance of my section 2. So nothing but the impedance of section CB. Nothing but that is equal to of nothing but I can call this of nothing but the impedance here is going to of nothing but sorry AC. Here I have tried with respect of an AC. So that is nothing but impedance of CB. The vector is going to of nothing but R2 plus J of X2. R2 plus J of X2. So now I can write what will be of my load current. What will be of my load current? What will be of my load current at point C? At point C. How can you write your load current? It's a vector sum. So what are the vector sum of your load current? What is the vector sum of your load current? So here I have drawn what about my current? I have drawn what about my current? So it means the vector sum is going to be nothing but based on your power factor. It means your I1 current. It means your I1 current, vector current will be equal to often I of cos phi 1 minus J of sin phi 1. So this I have explained already in our performance of the transition. The same thing I can use it here also. Similarly, I can write what about my load current? What about my load current at point B? At point B. It means my I2 vector. It means my I2 vector. So what about my I2 vector? What about my I2 vector? What is my I2 vector? So I2 vector is going to be of nothing but vector sum of I into cos phi 2 minus J sin phi 2. So this will be of my load current at B point. At my B point. What about my current in the section of CB? What will be the current in the section of CB? Or how much amount of current is going to flow? I think we have saw the DC distributor. We have if it's going to be of fed one end, VA is going to be of limit, and loads are going to be of tap. So we are using only the algebraic sum. It means it's going to be of 30 ampere, 20 ampere, and 10 ampere means here we have taken IA current. So after this load, the current flowing here is going to be of nothing but I have taken IA minus 10 ampere. I have taken IA minus 10 ampere. But here we are going to write what about the current in the section of CB. Here we cannot use the arithmetical sum. Here you have to use the vector sum. How we are going to use it out? How I are going to use it out? How you are going to use it out? How? Tell me. What about your section current? What about your section current here? Same concept only is nothing but it's a vector sum. So I can write it here. From the source, the current, what about my current flow? So here remember the current for this load is at the receiving point. This is the receiving last receiving point. So current here is going to be of my I2 current vector. Here the current is going to be of my I2 current vector. So what about the current from here? So we'll have an I1. Here it may be of nothing but I1 plus I2. It will be of here I1 plus I2. So here I am asking that what will be of my current in section CB. Current in my section CB. So nothing but that is equal to of nothing but this is equal to of nothing but ICB vector. This is going to of my ICB vector. So what is your ICB vector? So current here is going to be from I2 current. So I2 current here is going to be nothing but the I2 current here is going to be nothing but this one. It means current in the section CB vector is equal to of nothing but I2 vector. It means that is equal to of nothing but I into cos phi 2 minus j of sin phi 2. So this will be the current. This will be the current. So what about my current in section? What about my current in section AC? It means I have to calculate what about my vector current of AC current. So this vector current of AC current is nothing but I1 vector plus I2 vector. I1 vector plus I2 vector. It means, what about your current value? It means I1 into what will be the current value? I1 into cos of phi 1 minus j of sin phi 1, okay, plus I2 into cos of phi 2 minus j of sin phi 2. So this will be the current in your section AC, and this will be the current in your section CB. Okay. So with this help, you can able to calculate what about your voltage drop. What about your voltage drop? So what will be of your voltage drop? Sorry, here in the but you will get of I2. What about your voltage drop? What is the expression for your voltage drop? What will be the expression for your voltage drop? So I want remember what will be of my voltage drop in this section. What is it? Remember what is VCB and what is your AC? What is the drop in section BC and what is the voltage drop in the section AC? So we know what is the impedance. Here we have calculated what is the impedance. Impedance for each and every section we have calculated here. So we have calculated what is the current in each and every section. Okay. So current and voltage, but current and impedance, we can able to get what will be a fair drop in this section. So using this concept, impedance concept and Ohm's law, we are going to write it out. What will be the voltage drop in our each and every section? What will be the voltage drop in each and every section? So voltage drop in section CB. Voltage drop in the section CB. It means VCB vector. VCB vector will be equal to and what will be? What will be the vector? What is the current in the section? It means ICB vector into ZCB vector. ICB vector into ZCB vector. So it means my ICB vector will be equal to I2 into cos phi 2 minus j of sin phi 2 into what is the impedance value? What is the impedance value? What is the impedance we have wrote? What is the impedance we have wrote? Into R2 plus J of X2. Okay. Similarly, I can write what will be the voltage drop in the section AC. Voltage drop in the section AC will be equal to vector current of AC current into vector impedance of AC. So here it will be of nothing but I1 into vector sum another. You have to write both the currents. You have to write often both the currents. IAC current is going to be of nothing but I1 current plus I2 current. I1 plus I2 current vector into Z of AC means is going to be of nothing but R1 plus J of X1. R1 plus J of X1. So if you want to solve your AC distributor problem, means you have the input, we can able to solve it with respect of one power factor with respect of the receiving end point or power factor with respect to the load point. So either of these two methods only we can able to use to solve limit, find out what will be the minimum potential or maybe of the potential at the loading point. You can able to calculate. So here for solving that one, you have to use the limit phasor diagram. Using the phasor diagram only, we can able to write what will be of the section current and the voltages. Okay. Any doubt? So with the help of this one, we can able to calculate what about your current. We can able to calculate what about your, what is the feeding voltages? What is the feeding voltages? The feeding voltage here is feeding voltage is going to be upon VA. So it means I can write what is the feeding voltage of VA, right? And what about the feeding current? It means I1 plus I2 is going to appear IA current. It means with respect of what is your current on the feeding point. You can able to write it down. So it means you are feeding, but what about the voltage? What about your voltage? It means if you want to write off the VA voltage, means VA voltage is going to have nothing but section volt drop. If the number is equal to a section drop, it means section drop is going to be of an AC vector plus vector of CB vector plus at this point what will be of your voltages? It means your VB vector will be of your VB vector. So this is the feeding voltage of your AC distributor. What about your current? What about your current? IA current is nothing but I1 plus I2 vector. It means IA vector will be equal to your I1 vector plus I2 vector. I1 vector plus I2 vector. So if you remember these steps, you can able to solve your AC distributor problems. Suppose, so this I have written, but I have written about power factor with respect to the receiving endpoint. With respect to the receiving endpoint, I have wrote. Okay. In case if with respect of an respective load, in case if it's going to be of an respective load, then here you won't get up directly. You have to find out what is the actual number power factor with respect to the load. It means you have to calculate what is the phi 1 minus alpha with respect to the voltage at B point. Okay. And similarly, you have to calculate what is the for that load, what will be of your power factor or what will be the actual power factor. Based on that, you have to calculate what is your current. Right? It means suppose if I want to calculate what is the potential at the C point, if it's going to appear respective load point, what will be the potential at the C point? It means the potential at the C point is nothing but it will be of your voltage at your V plus the drop in the section of your CB. So that will be the voltage at this point. If I want to calculate what is the VCB, so this VC voltage is nothing but the section drop plus your VB voltage is going to be of your VC voltage. It will be of your VC voltage. It means I have to write what will be the respective power factor. Based on that only I can able to calculate what will be the voltage at the C point. If the AC distributor is going to be referred with respect of a power factor with the respective load point. Okay, so just for easy understanding, just we'll take one numerical example and we'll solve the problem so that it will be easy for you to get understand more about the AC distributor. Okay.
சார்
எஸ் மேடம்.
ஒரு 2 நிமிஷம் உங்கள்கிட்ட பேசிக்கலாமாங்க சார்?
பேசுங்க, அதுக்குள்ள ப்ராப்ளம் எழுதிடுறேன்.
ஓகேங்க சார். அம்மா, இந்த ஃபீஸ் வந்து 50% பே பண்ண சொல்லியிருந்தோம்ல. இப்போ பே பண்ணலை அப்படின்னா அவனுக்கு நான் டிசம்பர் முடிஞ்சோடனே உனக்கு என்ட்ரன்ஸ் எக்ஸாம் வரும். ஹால் டிக்கெட் வந்து ஜென்ரேட் பண்ண முடியாது. ஹால் டிக்கெட் லிங்க் வராது. அடுத்த செமஸ்டர் ஃபீஸ் பே பண்ணுற லிங்க்கும் வராது. 50% பே பண்ணாதவங்க லிஸ்ட் வந்துருக்கு என்கிட்ட. யாரோ எவ்வளோ பே பண்ணியிருக்கீங்க அப்படின்ட்டு. பே பண்ணாதவங்க இந்த 5 daysல பே பண்ணிடு. இல்லை அப்படின்னா உனக்கு ஹால் டிக்கெட் ஜென்ரேட் ஆகாது. அண்ட் தென் இப்போ ரிமைனிங் ஃபீஸ் கட்டுறதுக்கும் லிங்க் ஓப்பன் ஆகாது. கடைசி நிமிஷத்துல வந்து எங்ககிட்ட நிற்காத. எல்லா டீட்டெயில்ஸும் இந்த சைடில் இருக்கு. ஏதாவது டவுட் அப்படின்னா என்கிட்டயோ இல்லாட்டி நாகராஜ் சாருக்கே ஃபோன் பண்ணி கேட்டு, ஓகேவா? அண்ட் தென் என் செமஸ்டர் எக்ஸாம் வந்து MCQ தான். ஸோ கரெக்டாக படிச்சுக்கோ. இந்த கூகுள் கிளாஸ் ரூமில் போட்டுருவோம், அப்படியே வந்துட்டு நீ காப்பி பண்ணிடலாம்.
மேடம் வாய்ஸ் பிரேக் ஆகுது. வித்யா மேடம்,
இன்டர்னல் பண்ண மாதிரி பண்ணலாம் அப்படின்னு நினைக்காத.
வித்யா மேடம், வாய்ஸ் பிரேக் ஆகி வருது.
கண்டிப்பா நீ என்ன எழுதுறியோ அதுதான் மார்க். ஃபெயில் தான் ஃபெயில் தான். கரெக்டா படிக்கணும், ஓகேவா?
சார் இப்போ கேட்குதுங்களாங்க சார்?
இப்போ கிளியரா இருக்கு மேடம்.
ஓகேங்க சார். அம்மா, ஃபீஸ் பே பண்ணாதவங்க பே பண்ணிடுங்கம்மா. நான் மறுபடியும் சொல்லிட்டு இருக்கிறேன். அப்புறம் கடைசி நிமிஷத்தில் ஹால் டிக்கெட் வராது, எங்கிட்ட எதுவும் வந்து நிற்காதீங்க. நான் 10 days முன்னாடியே சொல்லிட்டேன். நான் இப்போ என் செமஸ்டர் எக்ஸாம் வரப்போகுது, CA3 வருது, எல்லாமே வருது. கொஞ்சம் பார்த்து கரெக்டாக அட்டன் பண்ணிக்கோங்க. எல்லாமே MCQ தான். நீ வழக்கம் போல் நீ காப்பி பண்ணலான்னு நினைக்காத. நீ கரெக்டாக படித்தா மட்டும்தான் உனக்கு மார்க் கிடைக்கும். ஃபெயில்னா ஃபெயில் தான், ரீடெஸ்ட்லாம் கிடையாது. சரியா? அது வந்து ஆம்கார்டுன்னு ஒரு இதில் பண்ணுறாங்க. நார்மலாக வந்துட்டு கூகுள் கிளாஸ் ரூமில் வந்துட்டு பண்ணுற மாதிரிலாம் இல்லை, எப்பவும் போல கிடையாது. நீ கரெக்டாக காப்பி பண்ணுற அப்படியே தெரிஞ்ச அப்படின்னா உடனே க்ளோஸ் ஆகிடும். அதான் CA3 வந்துட்டு இப்போ December 1 வந்துட்டு வேற பிளாட்ஃபார்மில் வைக்க போகிறோம். நார்மலாக வைக்கிற நான் எக்ஸாம் மாதிரி இருக்காது, இது கொஞ்சம் டிஃப்ரெண்ட்டாக இருக்கும். ஓகேவா? காப்பி பண்ணிடலாம், பாஸ் ஆகிடலாம் அப்படின்னு மட்டும் நினைக்காதீங்க. அதே மாதிரி அட்டண்டன்ஸ் வெரி புவராக இருக்குது தேர்ட் இயரில். டெய்லி ஏன் ரீசன் கேட்டிருந்தா ஒன்றுமே சொல்லலை. தொடர்ந்து இந்த 1 வாரமா 2 வாரமாக வந்துட்டு ரொம்ப அட்டண்டன்ஸ் புவராக இருக்குது. நான் இப்போ கன்சல்ட் பண்ணி வச்சிருவேன். நான் இந்த 1 வீக்கில் யார் வந்து ரொம்ப அதிகமாக ஆப்சென்ட் ஆனியோ அவங்கள கண்டிப்பாக நான் அலோவ் பண்ண மாட்டேன். எக்ஸாம் எழுத அலோவ் பண்ண மாட்டேன். தேர்ட் இன்டர்னல் ஆல்ரெடி நான் குரூப்பில் போட்டது தான். நீ என் பேச்சை கேட்காம இப்படி பண்ணிட்டு இருந்தீங்கன்னா நீ கடைசி நிமிஷத்தில் நான் வேண்டான்னு சொல்லிடுவேன், எக்ஸாம் எழுத வேண்டான்ட்டு. கரெக்டாக அட்டன் பண்ணிக்கோ, அவ்வளோதான். ஏதாவது டவுட் இருக்கா? சொல்லு அஸ்வின். ஸோ தேங்க்யூ சார்.
ஓகே. The questions will be like this, right? A single phase AC distributor. Okay, a single phase AC distributor. So from the while reading the question, I will draw the distributor diagram. Okay, a single phase AC distributor XY. It means they given XY. So they giving up an XY distributor. The length of the distributor here is going to appear 200 meters. The length of the distributor is going to appear 200 meters. The length is going to appear 200 meter length of distributor. Okay, fed from end X. It means from the end X, the image is going to happen fed. From the end X, it is going to happen fed and is loaded as under. So how is going to be uploaded is limit? One is 50 ampere at 0.8 power factor. So it means 100-meter distance. From a 100-meter distance, at a meter of 100-meter distance, first loading point is going to be your first loading point. So that first loading point, which is going to be taking a current of 50 ampere at 0.8 power factor. At 0.8, okay, it means my cos phi is equal to nothing but, so cos phi is going to be of 0.8 means my sin phi will be automatically is going to be of my 0.6. Sin phi will be of 0.6. So which is tapping a current of next 100 ampere at 0.707 power factor from 200 meter. It means from 200 means it's going to be a X point. It will be of your X point, which taking a current of 100 ampere. Which taking a current of 100 ampere at power factor of 0.7. It means at a power factor of 0.707. It means my cos phi means the second load. So cos phi 2 is going to be a number taking a power factor of 0.707. So from this number I can able to calculate what is the phi 2. If I calculate the phi 2, then I can able to calculate what is my sin phi 2. So sin phi 2 you will get a from the number that also is going to be a 0.707. That also you will get a from 0.707. Okay. So for this number they given what is the total resistance and reactance of the distributor. They given the total resistance and reactance of the distributor. So that is number they given with respect of number 0.3 ohm and 0.2 ohm per kilometer. It means my Z is equal to nothing but my Z is equal to nothing but 0.3 plus J of 0.2 ohm per kilometer. Per kilometer they given. But here that length of the distributor they given in terms of meter. It means you have to calculate what will be the value of your impedance. It means the entire distributor impedance per meter. Okay, per meter. It means 100 by 1000. You have to put it out. What will be the value? So that value only you have to consider here. It means this is going to happen per kilometer. I need ohm per meter. Then only I can able to, for 100 kilometer what will be the impedance. So then only I can able to calculate what is for 100 kilometer what is the impedance. Then for 200 meter what will be of my impedance. So then only I can able to calculate. It means the impedance I can able to calculate out. Okay. So this is going to be per kilometer they given. It means I need Z per meter. So for Z per meter it is going to be 0.3 plus J of 0.2. Right? If I want per kilometer means per meter means ohm into 100 by 1000. So it means 0.1 multiply. 0.1 multiply you will get 0.03 plus J of 0.02 ohm per meter. So here equivalence. It means my section impedance for I can take this is going to of my value is going to of my Z point. Okay. For the impedance of section XZ is equal to often this one, and that is also equal to often ZY. Z of ZY. So both the impedance value is going to be often same. So that is going to be what is the question here? But calculate the total drop in the distributor. It means I have to calculate what is the drop in this section. So what is the drop in XZ drop, and I have to calculate what is the drop in my ZY. Then only I can able to calculate what is my XY drop. What is the only drop in my XY? What will be of the drop in my XY? Right? Here the hint they given is going to be often power factor referred to the voltage at the forward point. It means the power factor with respect to the receiving end point. Power factor with respect to the receiving end point. So that method you have to use it for solving of the distributor problem. Okay. So just I will erase the question. I will draw the diagram above so that we can able to proceed further to solve this one. I will erase this question only. Whatever they given the question, I have converted into the distributor diagram. So now I am just drawing in the upper board so that I can able to solve the problem. So in objective question, if they given the question like this means you have to draw it, then you have to solve that one. So if you're able to solve means you can answer the 3 multiple choice question. So question will be like this. Okay, they given distributor X Z is taking up to 50 ampere at 0.8 power factor. It means cos phi 1 will be equal to 0.8, cos phi 2 will be equal to 0.6. And next load is going to appear 100 ampere. The Y point at 0.707. It means cos phi 2 is equal to 0.707 and sin phi 2 is equal to 0.707. Okay, so this is going to be 100 meter and this is going to be my 100 meter they given. Okay, they asked to calculate what is the section impedance. So the question whichever is given in the question, I have converted into the distributor diagram. So with the help of this distributor diagram, I am going to solve the problem. Okay, so it means first I have to write what is the impedance. What is the impedance of section XZ? So what is the impedance of XZ? So nothing but that is going to be, but they given 0.3 and 0.2. So I told you, but for per kilometer they given Z they given nothing but 0.3 plus J of 0.2 ohm per kilometer they given. Okay. So here remember I need to remember the total under in terms of meter they given what is the length of the distributor. So I have to convert what is the impedance per meter. So it means 100 by 1000 I can able to get it out. So that's nothing but for 100 meter. So my impedance will be equal to 0.03 plus J of 0.02 ohm per meter. Okay, ohm per meter. Similarly, so I can write, so they given directly what is the impedance of the distributor. So now I can write what is the impedance of section ZY. Nothing but again this is going to have 100 meter length. Suppose in the question if they given is going to have 300 meters, for 100 meters this is the value means what about your 300 meters? You have to calculate. Okay, so this value also is going to be 0.03 plus J of 0.02 ohm per meter. It means per 100 meters. Okay. So now I have to consider the load point Y. I have to consider the load point Y. For the load point Y, I have to calculate what will be the voltage. For if I want to calculate what is the voltage means, I have to calculate what is the load current. I have to calculate what is the load current. So that load current you can deliver, here you can deliver. For easy understanding, you can write it in terms of this is going to be your I2 current and this is going to be my I1 current. So the current from here, the feeding point here is going to be my I1 plus I2 vector. This is equal to I1 plus I2 vector. It means if I want to find out the drop means I know the impedance. Here I have calculated the impedance. Okay. But if I know the current, then I can able to calculate what is the drop in the section. I can able to calculate what is the drop in the section. Similarly, if I know what is the current in the section, I can able to calculate what is the drop in the section. So I can able to get what is the voltage. Okay. So it means first I have to calculate at load point Y. At load point Y, what will be the current? At load point Y, what will be the current? So that current I have taken the load current at load point Y, the current. I'm going to calculate the current. So that current I am going to consider as often I2 current. I'm going to consider as often I2 current. It means my I2 current is going to have the vector sum. But here they given only the magnitude. Here they given only the magnitude. It means I2 is equal to often I into cos of phi 2 minus J of sin phi 2. It means I is equal to often 100. I is equal to often 100. Cos phi 2 is equal to often 0.707 minus J of sin phi 2 is also 707. So this will be of your current value. This will be of your current. Which current? That will be of your I2 current. That will be of your I2 current in terms of ampere. So if you multiply by 100, you will get what will we get? 70.7 minus j of 70.7 ampere. So this is going to be of your I2 vector. This is going to be of your I2 vector. Similarly, I have to calculate what about my I1. Similarly, I have to calculate what about my I1. It means the current in this section. So what is your I1 current? It means at load point. At load point Z, current is equal to often I1. It means my I1 vector will be equal to often I into cos phi 1 minus j of sin phi 1. It means I is equal to often 50. Right? Cos phi 1 is going to be often 0.8 minus j of 0.6. Okay. So I can get I1 vector will be equal to often 40. It's going to be of nothing but 50 into 0.8 is going, I can able to get 40. 40 minus 35. It means it's going to be of a 30. So 30 ampere. So here I have calculated what is I2 vector. So this is my I2 vector I have calculated. Here I have calculated what is my I1 current. But here I have to calculate. So this current, this is going to be of my I into ZY. Current here flowing is going to be of an I of ZY current. So what will be of my I of ZY? So that I have to write it out. So that current, here this current is going to be of an same. Why? The same I2 current only is going to be of an flowing through this section. What are the current coming from here, from this node point? What are the current coming from this node point? That only is going to be of an to the load of 100 ampere. So I of YZ current will be equal to of my I2 current. I of Y2 current, the section current. The section current. In the section or current ZY or a section current. ZY or a section current. It means I of ZY vector is nothing but that is equal to of your I2 vector. That will be equal to of my I2 vector. It means that is equal to of an 70.7 minus j of 70.7 ampere. So this is my section current of IZY. IZY. So I know what is the current. So here I know what is the impedance. The impedance into current that will give my section drop. In the section, what is the voltage drop? Okay. Similarly, here I have to calculate what is the current in this section. I of XZ. But I of XZ, the current is going to be often I1 plus I2 current. I1 plus I2 current. So, section current. In the section or current? Which section current? Which section current? I of XZ. So, what will be of your XZ current? Calculate and tell me. What is your section current? It means I have to calculate what is my I of XZ, so vector current. So it means I1 vector plus I2 vector. Tell me what is the value.
Hmm? 40 minus 30 J, sir.
So it means it will be equal to often nothing but I1 value is equal to often 40 minus J of 30 plus again I2 vector. It means 70.7 minus J of 70.7. So add it and tell me. The complex vector addition is how to do it out. Okay. So here is simple value only can able to calculate. So 70 plus 40 is going to appear 110, 110.7. So minus of minus, what will happen? 100. So you will get up here. So here 110.7 minus, because both are minus value. So it's going to be minus 100.7 ampere. So this is my I vector of xz. Okay. Come on, calculate what is the voltage. So now you know what is the section current. So you know what is the section impedance. Calculate what is the drop in this section. What is the drop in this section? Come on. Calculate what is the drop. Come on, get me the answer. What is the drop in section ZY and what is the drop in section YZ? Sorry, XZ.
Five point double three five for XZ.
5.335 for which section?
XZ, sir.
X? XZ.
Yes, sir.
1 second. It is voltage in ZY will be equal to vector of the drop in the vector sum is going to appear is going to appear I of ZY vector into Z of ZY vector. Okay. So what is your I of ZY? ZY here is going to have nothing but 70.7 minus J of 70.7 into impedance we have wrote in nothing but 0.03. So multiply into 100 by 1000, which is 0.1. 0.1 multiply you will get a 0.02. So this you have to do in the complex multiplications. Okay. So how much you are getting? How much you are getting? Similarly, I can write. So what is the drop in this section? So x of z. So that is nothing but I of xz vector into z of xz vector. So I of z vector here is going to have nothing but 110.7 minus j of 100.7 into same impedance value. Yes, both are same distance, 100.02. So vector, it's a complex variable. So change the in your calculator, change the mode to the complex mode. Then if you multiply, you can get the answer directly. So how much you are getting?
Sir, for XZ 5.335.
Okay.
Minus
So,
0.8079.
okay. So that I will write in the polar form. So this is a rectangular form. So after multiplication, you convert it into polar form. You can get the value as of nothing but 3.599 angle of 11.31 volt. Okay. Similarly, here you will get 5.387 angle of minus 8.6. Okay. So here we have calculated only the section drop, but they asked what is the V of xy? What is the value of your V of xy? So V of xy vector will be equal to V of zy vector plus V of xz vector. Okay. So why I have converted this rectangular form into polar form is I can multiply 3.559 into 5.38 directly, and I can add, in the multiplication I can add the angle. So that's why here in I have converted it into polar form so that I can do it out. Okay. So it means So this value is equal to often 3.599 angle of minus 11.31 into, sorry, plus okay. So sorry, plus, it means 5.387 angle of minus 8.6. So you will get some around 8 point something. 5 plus 3 means 8. So your total section drop is going to be often 8.8 something. You will get it out. You will get some around 8.8. Okay, with lagging value. Minus here is going to be here lagging. So voltage is going to be here is going to be often flat. So 8.9 something you will get. You will get 8.9 something voltage. So that is the drop in the section of XY. That is a drop in the section of XY. Any doubt? Is there doubt, Riyappa?
Sir, final answer சொல்லுங்க sir. The
Final வந்து பாத்தீங்கன்னா 8 V of xi வந்து பாத்தீங்கன்னா you will get often 8.9 angle of minus 99.68 volt னு வரும். Okay, it means if you take only the magnitude, the magnitude value of your x of y will be equal to often 8.9830 volt magnitude level. You will get the angle also. So in this you will get off your angle also. Okay. Finally, you have to write it in terms of magnitude alone. So when in an exam point, how question will be the same type of questions. Same type of questions. You have to solve it entire thing. But question on one question for the same problem, what will be the section current in YZ? It means you have to calculate what is the section current. See that on the section current they are given only the magnitude alone or magnitude with angle they given, you can check it out. So based on that you can pick the answers. Based on that you pick your answers. Okay. Next question with the same data, find out the section current of I of XY. It means you can, if you solve this problem, you can answer the 3 question or 4 question continuously. Multiple choice with the problem with this one problem, you can able to answer 4 multiple choice. If you make any one mistake, so automatically you will get the wrong answer in the subsequent questions. Why? Because we do the multiplication. We will find out the current, then we will do multiplication or addition. So that will cause us the error. So you have to study this theoretical part also, and you have to solve some of the numerical. You have to know knowledge on how to solve the problem also. So then only you can able to answer your multiple choice questions. Any doubt?
No, sir.
Okay. So I think this but second half of module 3 is going to be of your distributor. We have seen about our distributor. So the distributor here is going to be often classified based on one is going to be often type, another one is going to be of your applications. So it means AC distribution or DC distribution. Okay, that may be of your underground or may be of your overhead distributors. Will be of an underground or overhead distributor. But then based on the scheme of connections, the distributor may be of your radial, ring, or interconnector. So this is going to be often classified based on the scheme of connections. Okay. So when it comes to the respect of one scheme of connections, then you have to know about what is a stepped and trapped main. You have to know about what is stepped and trapped mains. Trapped mains. You have to know about your stepped as well as of your trapped mains. Okay. So, but here the distributor, based on your voltages, it may be of your DC or it may be of your AC distributor. Okay. In your DC distributor, depends upon the load. Okay, both the things are depends upon the load. It's going to have, one is going to have a concentrated load or maybe of a uniformly loaded. Okay, concentrated load or it may be of a uniform load. So based on that, I can have the distributor. The DC distributor is going to happen spread at one point or spread at one point or spread at both the points. If it's spread at both the points, maybe voltage may be equal or voltage may be V1 and V2 voltage. Voltage may be of a different voltage. Okay. Another thing is going to happen is spread at center. Spread at center. So first type is going to have nothing but DC distributor. The DC distributor is going to have nothing but spread at one end. This will be often spread at one end. Or second type is going to happen but spread at both the ends. When it's going to happen spread at both the ends, the voltage may be often equal voltages or voltage may be often unequal voltages. Voltage may be of your unequal voltages. Okay. And third thing is going to happen spread at midpoint. Spread at midpoint. It means the number is going to happen spread at midpoint. And fourth is going to have a ring or interconnected distributor, ring or interconnected distributor. Okay, so this classification you have to know, and how to calculate the distributor voltage you have to know. Then comes with respect of an AC distributor. The AC distributor will be of an with respect of the receiving end load point, with respect of the receiving end load point power factor, or it may be of respective load power factor, or it may be of your respective load power factor. Okay, so whatever may be in the AC distributor, you have to use the vector sum, not the arithmetic sum. So it means you have to know about your phasor diagram. If you know the phasor diagram, then you can able to solve your problem. Okay. So only one topic is there. So just is going to be an introduction for a flexible AC transmission system. It means fax devices. Okay. So that we'll see in the Monday session, and we'll have the primary. But so that is going to be but we have to classify what is a fax devices, what are the different types of fax devices. So that is going to be often quantitative. Okay. That is only the introduction. So any doubt or any concept you want to repeat? So we'll have the revisions after the completion of the introduction to fax devices. We'll have only the revisions. Okay. So just we'll have the Nibud. We prepare for the objective questions. I'll post the objective questions and you have to answer for the questions. So already in the Google Classroom, I have posted the book material. So book materials are available. Apart from the handwritten notes, the book materials are available. Go to each and every chapter. Go to each and every chapter. At the end of the chapters, you will have some objective questions. At least if you read that one, you can able to answer some questions in the question paper. At least you can able to answer some questions in your question paper. So I have told many times nothing but about the assignment 2. About the assignment 2. Till now, many of them are not submitted your assignment 2. Only 25 students have submitted. After repeatedly, I am telling that you have to submit your assignment 2. Already around 10 members, they have not submitted the assignment 1. For them, I made them as often 0 marks. I have made them as often 0 marks and I have entered in them. Okay. So still, if you are not submitting your assignment 2 also, I will make that mark as often 0. I don't know why you people are not solved all the 10 problems. I can able to see only nothing but the people have solved 3 or 4 problems and you have updated in the Google Classroom. What is the difficulty? I don't know. You are not expressing what difficulty you are having it out. You are not expressed to me. Then how come I know that what is the difficulty you have faced in solving the assignment problem? I can never yesterday I sat and I just seeing that how you have solved that one. If I take Ajay Kumar solved only the 4 problems. After that, he has not solved any of the problems. That only he has solved about problem 1 and he solved the problem 2. Then he jumped to 3, 4. That is either limit. That is 8th problem or 5th problem. I don't know. This limit image is not clear. Only limit this problem alone he has solved. I can able to see the limit. Many of them are solved like that only. Ashwin also. I don't know whether he has missed his limit. Here first page itself no name. He has given 3rd question. Answer for 3rd question. Then he solved the 5th. Then 9th. That's all. And 10. These questions only are available in the assignment what he has written. I given the material also. If you have any doubt, not able to understand me, I ask you many times, inform me so that I can explain. But no one came forward. With this document, how can I evaluate the assignment? It is whatever you are going to get, the same only I am going to do it. Repeatedly, I am telling that complete your assignment before your due date. And still I extended the due date and you people are not submitting your assignments. So any doubt?